Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So, welcome to Podcast Meditations, and we're here with The Way of the Superior Man. In this episode, we will be talking about what women really want. So, this is going to be a good one. So, let's go. Let's dive right in. People on video, I will be sharing my screen for you to follow. Boom, as you can see, don't worry, I am going to zoom in. Let me take that banner out. Let's go full screen and I am going to zoom in so you guys can read along with me. So let me check on you guys there. This is going to be a good one again. What women really want. Let's begin. Part 4. What women really want. Choose a woman who chooses you. So I truly believe this one. This is based on my experience. So I was in a total of maybe 10 years of a relationship. So I was like in a committed boyfriend girlfriend relationship type, also including my other experiences and interactions as a man with other women. So the next line says, if a man wants a woman who doesn't want him, he cannot win. Why? His neediness will undermine any possible relationship. So, what do you mean, Martin? Further, the line says, and she will be repulsed by your clinginess. So, I learned this from hard experience, and sometimes here, in the Philippines, probably, in other countries as well, someone might ask you, who should you go for? You know, the one you want or the one who wants you? And it might sound like a trick question. And to just cut the bullshit, the answer is both. So, this is the guide though. Choose a woman who chooses you. So, if someone says, Martin, there's this girl, this woman, she likes you. Do you like her back? That's my question. If the answer is no, you don't have to choose her. Now, if a woman chooses you and you choose her back, then that's a match. So that's a match made in heaven or a match that you could pursue moving forward. Next chapter. So let's understand what women really want. What she says, or sorry, this chapter says, what she wants is not what she says. Sometimes a woman will make a request of her man to see if he is so weak that he will do it. Now, all the men out there, including me, this sounds very devious, and some guys out there are gonna hate this shit. So a woman will ask a man to do something, but she doesn't really want you to do it. She's just testing you. So let's flow to the next line. She is testing his capacity to do what is right, not what she is asking for. So this is a sign of a more mature, discerning, and a man who's been through a lot of shit, what I would say. So the man who will pass this test, when a woman asks for something petty, a lot of times it's not obvious, right? But if you do the right thing, then you pass this test. So again, a woman won't do this all the time. Sometimes she does this unconsciously, but this is the guide. Next line says, in such cases, if the man does what the woman asks, she will be disappointed and angry. So this explains why sometimes as a man, a woman makes a request. Even when we do it, she's still angry. It's like, why do you do it? Right? So again, this one might piss off a lot of men, but let's be patient. Let's learn the wisdom behind this. Because the next line says, your woman is taunting you, testing you, seducing you, but also ready to chop your head off with her wrath if you are weak and ambiguous in your truth, and ready to surrender to the force of your loving if you are steady and brilliant in your loving consciousness. This line is so ruthless. So, growing up, I was in I got into guns. I think as young as 13, 14 years old, I was interested in them. Then, my world opened up to the opposite sex because I went to an all boys school. Then I got into motorcycles later on in my 20s. So one thing they have in common is they're all ruthless and they can all kill you if you don't understand it. So women are like that. Next line. Always checking with your deepest wisdom and following the road of your highest truth. This is why I do these podcast meditations. A lot of times, we as men, or anyone, maybe a woman can relate to, what is the wisdom? What is the highest truth? That will set us free, right? Cut the bullshit. Last chapter for this episode. Her complaint is content free. What does this mean? Excuse me. The content is the words, right? So the line here says, a man should hear his woman's complaints like warning bells. If he believes in the literal content of her complaint, that means the words, he will immediately go off course, for the content reflects her present mood more. But more often than not, the specifics of her complaint do not describe the real underlying action or tendency that needs to be changed. So we're about to get some X-ray vision on women and how they speak and how they behave. Next line says, the thing your woman is complaining about is rarely the thing she is complaining about. What the hell does that mean? Let's decode this shit. When she complains about financial issues, she's actually feeling a lack in your masculine capacity to direct your life with clarity, purpose, integrity, and wisdom. The money itself is secondary. Let's give another example. When you say you will clean the garage and you haven't, her complaint isn't really about the garage. The deeper issue is that you didn't do what you said you would. You gave her your word and you didn't follow through. She can't trust what you say, and this hurts her deeply. One last example. When she complains about you watching TV, it is usually more a complaint about your whole life. What do you mean? Your lack of persistence and clarity. So, what's the answer? If your woman felt you were living totally in your clarity of purpose, if she felt you can totally present her when you choose to be or when you chose to be with her, then it would be fine. So if you were on purpose, you had your clarity, none of that would be an issue. So let's go back. Stop screen sharing. Those were really solid hits. Again, we're talking about in this topic what women really want. So I love this one. You guys can go back. I'm going to make notes. You can skip back to the start with a timestamp. Thank you. I love you. And I will see you next time.